Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. It is late in the evening on June 13th. You will probably all be watching this video by June 14th. But we actually have some big news out of Washington, D.C. Now, I'm going to probably put some water on that parade here in a moment. But yes, the United States House of Representatives has passed House Joint Resolution 44, which means it now heads over to the Senate. You ask yourself, what the hell is House Joint Resolution 44? Well, unless you've been geeking out on this channel or some other channel, you would know that House Joint Resolution is the resolution sponsored by Representative Clyde out of Georgia, which would basically do away with ATF's otherwise unconstitutional pistol brace rule. So this is a wonderful first step. And is there possibly a legislative save coming for all of us from this pistol brace rule? Well, probably not, and I'll explain why. So today, let's spend a few minutes and talk about the House passes House Joint Resolution 44, but it's still a big nothing burger. Okay, so what we're talking about is some developments out of Washington, D.C. today after all the political gamesmanship and shenanigans going on, some of which we actually talked about on this video right here. We finally got House Joint Resolution 44 to the floor for a vote. Now, there was a spirited debate from both sides of the aisle. And of course, the highlight of the night had to obviously come from none other than Miss Sheila Jackson Lee.
Shootout in your district between a criminal with a ghost gun. We don't need automatic weapons in the hands of civilians. There's no hunting purpose. There's no purpose. You can buy the brace without a background check. But when it becomes a dangerous weapon, when that brace changes the gun's legal status and makes it, in essence, the same that caused a mass shooting at a Boulder, Colorado supermarket, the stabilizing brace made and a shorter barrel made a pistol under federal gun regulations.
And again, I apologize for subjecting all of my viewers to that. Hopefully you at least got a couple of chuckles before you grabbed the barf bag. Now, the vote total was 219 yeas, 210 nays, and 5 no votes. So pretty much along party lines. Now, there were 2 Republicans who voted against this resolution. That was Representative Keene out of New Jersey, not a particularly strong Second Amendment state, as well as Representative Fitzpatrick out of Pennsylvania. Now, there was 2 Democrats, however, who voted in favor of this legislation. That was Representative Sattler-Petold out of Alaska, as well as Representative Obernolte out of California. So 2 crossover votes each way. So it narrowly passes the House. It now heads to the Senate. What is the likelihood that this is going to actually provide some sort of legislative relief to all of us from the pistol brace rule? It is virtually impossible. It might be a wonderful first step, but there's 2 more steps, and I candidly don't think either one of them is going to happen. Let me explain why. The resolution now goes to the Senate, okay? In order to get this passed out of the Senate, every Republican is going to have to hold strong, plus they're going to have to get 2 Democrats to flip. Now, that is possible. That is possible, okay? But then even if it were to pass out of the Senate, and that is a huge if, well, then it's got to go to the president's desk for signature. And of course, he's already very publicly stated that he will be vetoing it. Now, if in fact the president vetoes the resolution, could Congress override the veto? Yes, they could. It is constitutionally permissible. However, for those of you who paid attention during high school or watching Schoolhouse Rock, you will know that it requires a 2/3 vote out of both the House and the Senate, okay? And if this legislation, or I should say if this resolution, makes it to the president's desk, it's going to have passed out of the House basically along party lines with a narrow Republican majority, and it's going to have passed out of the Senate with maybe a couple of Democratic crossovers, and that's it. And so there is no mathematical possibility whatsoever that House Joint Resolution 44, despite all of its noble efforts, is ever going to make a bit of difference. And it is for that reason that this thing is a big fat nothing burger. Is it a moral victory? Yes, it is a moral victory. Does it require those in the Senate to put their name to this and put a vote on it? Yes, it does. But beyond that, folks, this is not going to save the day. Now, what might save the day? I think all of you should circle June 29th on your calendar, because you know we got oral arguments in the matter of Mock v. Garland in the Fifth Circuit, which is absolutely positively going to be the tip of the spear. And there is a high likelihood that we are going to get some very significant rulings out of that court. And it is even possible that we could actually see the death of the pistol brace rule handed to it through the case of Mock v. Garland. So if there is any saving us from this otherwise unconstitutional rule, that savior is likely Mock v. Garland. Listen, you may have more questions about this or anything else related to the pistol brace rule or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights. Now, you guys should know how to contact Washington Gun Law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information is down there in the description box. In the meantime, though, I want all of you to remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation, how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching, and stay safe.